day 40. It's the last day of the hunt task, but we'll get to that in a second. First, Isabel's in the bathroom talking with Chanel and Hannah about how her vagina looks gross. It looks nasty and destroyed. And she's telling a story about how one time she sent a picture of her vagina and 3 other pictures to her sister of some other nasty looking vaginas to her sister. And she asked her sister to send or to tell her which one was the nastiest or whatever. And she chose Isabel's. So then we get to the task of the day, which is this viral video DIY how to YouTube sensation video task thing. Basically, they all have to choose a person that fits each category, and then that person has to go into the diary room and like make a viral video. Basically, it's basically just them telling their viewers, quote unquote, how to, it's a viral video. So the first category is most popular. They just kind of go around and they all give a name of the person they think is the most popular. Chanel said Raph is the most popular. Sam said Raph was the most popular. Andrew said Isabel was the most popular, and then everyone else said Ellie was the most popular. So Ellie won. She was named the most popular. So she goes in the diary room and she like gives a speech on how to be popular or whatever. The next category was how to be two-faced. How to be two-faced. Chanel said Charlotte was the most two-faced because basically of the task they just had and her pitting her up and all that stuff. Everyone else said Sue. Yes, Sue is still here at this point. Everybody else said Sue was the most two-faced. And Hannah said that Raph was the most two-faced, which was interesting. So Sue wins that category and she becomes the most two-faced. So Sue goes in the diary room and gives a speech on how to be the most two-faced, and she basically said something like, I don't consider it being two-faced, I consider it being encouraging, and encouragement is good, so I will always be two-faced because I will always be encouraging to people or something like that. The next category is the biggest follower. Chanel said Sam, Hannah said Andrew, and Sue said Tom because, he's always following Kieran around and stuff like that. And I guess everyone else said Sam, so Sam won. Sam was named most follower, biggest follower or whatever. So he goes into the diary room, gives his little testimonial speech on how to be a good follower or something. I don't know. The next category is how to be manipulative. Chanel says that Tom is the most manipulative. Ellie says that Tom is the most manipulative. Isabel says Tom is the most manipulative. Hannah says that Tom is the most manipulative. Everybody says that Tom is the most manipulative. Sue said he was too. Charlotte says Tom is. Tom can't even pronounce the word manipulative. So he goes into the diary room. He's all mad and huffing and puffing. And, he says that I'm the most manipulative, but in a positive way, I'm the most manipulative. I encourage my friends to drink because the best memories are made when you're drinking. Some shit. I can't fucking remember. Tom is named most manipulative. I don't know if I agree with Tom being the most manipulative. Maybe Kieran. I would have said Kieran maybe. I don't think Tom is smart enough to be the most manipulative. He can't even pronounce the fucking word. So then, I guess the task is done. They all do their little viral video bullshits. Then Chanel and her gang are in the exile bedroom having a geography lesson. Raph is like trying to quiz them on what's the capital of this country, what's the capital of this country, and it's like all these European countries he's saying, and they just keep Iceland. Iceland is the answer to everything. They keep just fucking saying Iceland. What's the capital of Switzerland? Iceland. What's the capital of Germany? Iceland. What's the capital of Norway? Iceland. They fucking think Iceland is the capital of all these places. Come on, y'all. Tom and Sam, since Tom and Sam are big ass kids, they decide to go in the garden and build a fort because that's what fucking kids do. It falls down after Chanel goes in there. Ellie goes in the diary room and she's like predicting a live eviction. She was right because, Sue gets evicted later. But then Isabel's in the Thorn Cottage bedroom talking about how she had a dream the previous night about how Kieran was like helping her change her tampon or some shit. It was real weird. Then Andrew, Chanel, Ellie, and Kieran and Isabel, I think, are all out like in the smoking session, having a cigarette, just talking, blah, blah, blah. Then Ellie is all of a sudden like, shh, wait, guys, shh. And they hear boos coming from like the studio outside. They hear boos and stuff, and they're like, "Oh shit, there's a live eviction tonight." So they all run inside and get ready. Chanel gets ready because she's up. Sue gets ready because she's up, and Isabel gets ready because she's up too. So they're all getting ready for eviction. Then the eviction happens. Sue goes home. Blah blah blah. They show the aftermath of that with like Chanel out. You know how they did that last task where they were out in the woods. Chanel was like crying and feeling upset. She felt guilty, but everyone chose to stand on her side. So what are you gonna do? And then we get to the part that fucking literally pissed me off so bad that I wanted to like reach my hand through the computer and smack Kieran in the fucking face. Okay, it's right after Sue got evicted. They're back in the house. Actually, they're outside. They're out of the woods, but they're outside smoking in the smoking area. And it's Kieran, Tom, and Charlotte out there. And Kieran says something to the effect of like, well, Charlotte is talking to Tom and Kieran, and she's like, "Can you imagine if that was your mom sitting out there," referring to Sue? "Can you imagine if that was your mom out there sitting all by herself and nobody stood behind her, right? Because no one was trying to save Sue except for Charlotte." And Kieran says something like, Tom would have stood behind her if nobody else had.
Bitch, please!
Kieran, really? You gonna sit there and tell that fucking lie? That was the biggest lie ever fucking told on television. Kieran! Tom in a million years would have never, ever, ever stood behind Sue. They just had a fucking fight in the task earlier in the day talking about, what was it, how Sue thinks Tom is a follower and all this shit. They were going at it, and then you're gonna sit there and be like, Tom would have stood behind Sue. There is not a chance in hell that fucking Tom would have stood behind Sue. I can't believe, why did he say that? That just like pissed me off. I was like, Kieran, be real. You would have not stood behind Sue, and Tom, y'all damn sure were not about to stand behind Sue. Oh, God, that pissed me off. And then Tom goes, "This is on my mother's life. This is on my mother's life. I was going to stand behind Sue as a peace offering." That's what he says after Kieran says that he would have stood behind Sue. Why are they fucking sitting there and trying to lie? No, there is no way Tom would have stood behind Sue. There's like no way. Why are they trying to come off as these like sympathetic people towards Sue? They don't give a fuck about Sue. If they were going to stand behind Sue, then they would have stood behind Sue. But they didn't stand behind Sue. They stood behind Chanel. Because they were, oh, well, Chanel's been here longer, so. That was everyone's fucking reason. Oh, she's been here longer, sorry. That don't fucking matter. And then Raph comes outside, and then they ask Raph, would you have stood behind Sue if no one else had? And Raph's like, no, not in this situation. And they were like, what? You wouldn't have stood behind Sue? You're not even gonna like lie and pretend there? He was like, no, not in this situation, I'm not. I was like, thank you, Raph, for fucking telling the truth. Because these motherfucking little ass boys right here can't fucking tell the truth to save their goddamn lives, talking about they would have stood behind Sue. Please. They would have not ever fucking stood behind Sue. Whew. Anyway, okay. So then Hannah and Deborah are back in the house. They're back in their bedroom talking about Sue and how much they're going to miss her and stuff like that. Because, like I said, they did have a bond with her, but they were loyal to Chanel, so they stood with Chanel. Anyway, Andrew's talking shit about Hannah. He's like, basically just talking shit about how she's depressing. Her face is like thunder. I'm going to make my own donuts from now. Fuck Hannah. Her face is upsetting me. She's so moody for no entire reason. That doesn't even fucking make sense. She's a drama fucking queen, a fucking diva. And he goes outside and he walks past her and he's like, diva, but he's saying it under his breath because he's a little fucking bitch and he can't say it to her goddamn face. Basically, that's all of day 40. So day 41, Kieran is reading out super loud, being super ignorant, reading out the instructions on how to use the toaster and like how to not burn the bread in the toaster or I don't fucking know. And Hannah is Kieran's being loud to Hannah and Hannah's just trying to be louder than him and like she's singing her greatest hits of the house, which include Love, Peace, and Harmony, and I'm gonna shit and sing, and is there any more? I can't think of any more, but I think there's another one, I can't remember. Andrew gets called to the diary room and he's been given a secret task. He has to act like a drama queen and he can't tell anyone that he's, acting like a drama queen. Basically, he uses this as an opportunity to bitch some more at Hannah because for some reason he just doesn't fucking like Hannah. So he's like joking, but he's having a go at Hannah, and it's like, you're obviously doing this just to have a go at Hannah. Chanel also gets called to the diary room, and they tell her to do the same thing. You're on a secret mission. Act like a drama queen. Be ignorant. Be loud. Act like a bitch. All that stuff. So she goes out and she starts bitching at Hannah too. Um, I forgot what she said to her, but she starts bitching at Hannah too. They start wrestling. She starts yelling at people to dance and all this stuff. Tom pisses on the toilet seat, and she fucking tells him to stop pissing on the toilet seat, because that is gross. Don't fucking piss on the toilet seat. Chanel and Andrew pass the task of acting like drama queens, so they each get to choose a person to join them. They choose Isabel and Raph, I think, right? Yeah, I think they choose Isabel and Raph, and you get what they win is a like beauty session, pampering session or whatever. They don't have like a masseuse come in and like massage them, but they basically have to massage each other. But it's a little glam, I guess. Then we see Ellie and Sam in the smoking section, and Raph is getting a massage from Isabel because they just won that task and they're doing the pampering shit. So Isabel's massaging Raph, and Sam sees them and he's talking to Ellie, and he's like, "Don't you think it's weird that like she's massaging him and Raph isn't getting hard? He's not getting a boner or something like that? Something like that." She's like, Ellie's like, "No, he's gay. He's not attracted to her like that." And she's like, what if a guy were like rubbing on you? Would you be turned on? Would you get a boner? He's like, "No. It's the same fucking thing, you dumb homophobic piece of." So then they play this cheap ass game of which housemate am I? I swear to God, Big Brother just made it up like on the spot. It's called which housemate am I? They're all gathered in the living room. Isabel goes first, and she like is describing a housemate, and they have to guess which housemate. It's so fucking, I don't know. It's the dumbest game like ever. So she's describing, and she says that I could win Big Brother because I am really down to earth, hilarious, and I inspire people to be themselves. It was about Chanel. Everyone says Ellie, but they all got it wrong. It was about Chanel. And Chanel was like, "I knew it was me." Then Chanel goes and she says that this person could improve themselves by gaining more confidence and not being in another person's shadow all the time. Ellie was like, "That's me. I know you're talking about me because you basically already said that a couple weeks ago when you were talking about me. It was about Ellie. That was correct." And then Hannah goes and she says that this person used to be quiet. They were quiet at first. Now they're more vocal and they've come out of themselves a little bit more, but I preferred them when they were quiet. And Charlotte's like, that's me. You're talking about me." Yes, that's right. She was talking about Charlotte. Hannah, I guess, doesn't like how Charlotte is talking more. She prefers Charlotte when she didn't say shit, because I guess she didn't get on her nerves that much. I don't know. Then then Andrew starts piping up, and he's like, I forgot what he says, but he starts having to go at Hannah, because remember, he doesn't fucking like Hannah, and he's like, okay, Hannah, when she starts talking back at him. He's like, okay, Hannah. Well, why are you fucking trying to dish it out then if you can't take it? God, always getting involved in some shit that has absolutely nothing to do with you, Andrew. I can't stand him. Can't fucking stand Andrew. His voice sounds like a fucking chainsawing all the fucking time. I can't stand his fucking voice. Then Chanel and Ellie are having a heart to heart because of basically what Chanel was just saying about Ellie, and Chanel's trying to give her advice like, "Hey, you're beautiful, you're your own person, you don't need to be around a man all the time," kind of referring to what Raph was saying about her that one week when he put her up for eviction, talking about how she always needs male companionship. And Chanel's like, "You don't always need to be around a man. You're your own person. You're beautiful." They start crying, and you would think that Ellie would take this on board, but the very next scene is Ellie making out with Sam in the fucking storeroom, like dry humping. I mean, she's a grown woman. She could do what she wants. She doesn't have to take Chanel's advice, but it's like Chanel's trying to look out for you. So, I mean, whatever. Who fucking cares about Ellie and Sam? Then it's like nighttime now, and Deborah and Charlotte are in Rose Cottage, and Deborah starts farting on Charlotte, and she's like, "Oh, you nasty bitch," and she starts cussing her out and stuff. And the whole time I'm thinking, why are you guys still sharing a bed in the first place? There are 2 extra beds in that bedroom. Tom and Kieran are still sharing a bed, which is like so weird to me. It's fucking weird to me. And Deborah and Charlotte are still sharing a bed. There are 2 extra beds. They could all each have a bed. Why are they still sharing beds? It's weird to me. Don't complain about someone farting on you. There's a whole other bed you can go to. Then Raph decides to play a prank on Hannah. Everyone is having a go at Hannah this time. Andrew went for Hannah in his secret task. Chanel went for Hannah, although Chanel went for everybody in her secret task. And now Raph is having a fucking little prank on Hannah. Leave Hannah alone. You know she doesn't like pranks. So anyway, he goes and he like starts rubbing garlic all in her bed sheets, and he like leaves the whole clove of garlic like in her pillowcase. And she comes in and she's like, "Who put garlic?" She could smell it immediately. She's like, "Who put garlic all over my pillowcase?" Andrew's like, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me." She knows that Andrew knows who the fuck did it. So anyway, Hannah goes and she like goes into Thorn Cottage bedroom and she wakes them all up. She turns on the lights and Tom's like, "Turn off the lights, turn off the lights." She's like, "I don't give a fuck." She's like, "Who put garlic all over my pillows and shit?" And Deborah's like, "It was probably Raph. Like, go chill. Like, get out of here. It's probably Raph." So then she leaves Thorn Cottage and Raph is coming out of the diary room, coming down the stairs. And she's like, "Did you put garlic all over my pillowcase, all over my pillows and stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was me." And she gets kind of mad or whatever. He apologizes. And then Deborah comes out and she's like, "Just, Raph, was it you?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you just apologize? You know how she is. Just apologize." I guess he apologizes. That's basically all that happened on day 41. So it's day 42. The day starts off with Big Brother playing "I Don't Have Money on My Mind. Money on My Mind. I do it for the love." On the speakers to wake everyone up. What happened to Sam Smith? Side note, I just want to know, where is Sam Smith? He hasn't made a song in about 50 fucking years. And then Big Brother gathers everyone in the living room and tells them that £20,000 have just been deducted from the prize fund money. Over the next 3 days, you guys will be doing tasks to win back the $20,000 and stuff like that. You're going to be split into 2 teams. There's a black team and the gold team. The black team is Hannah, Deborah, Sue. No, I'm kidding. The black team is Raph, Tom, Charlotte, and Chanel, and Deborah. And the gold team is Andrew, Ellie, Hannah, Isabel, Kieran, and Sam. And like, there's a rule that when you hear the buzzer, you run to the living room and you hit the buzzer thing, and the first person from whichever team hits the buzzer wins however much money is up on the screen. And basically what the housemates don't know is that one person at the end of the 3 days is going to have the opportunity to steal all the money gathered from both teams, and they get to keep that money, and then they'll have to pick a person to be evicted. Not nominated, but they'll have to pick someone to like evict. They don't know that yet, though. They don't know this part yet, though. But we know this because of bots and stuff. Another rule is that all the housemates have to sleep in the same bedroom. Or all the housemates on the same team have to sleep in the same bedroom. So like the gold team all have to sleep in the same bedroom, and the black team all have to sleep in the same bedroom. They're all like grumpy about this. Nobody wants to switch bedrooms. They're all like, "I can't go in Rose Cottage. I can't go in Thorn Cottage. I can't move my bed. I can't do this." Just being babies about the whole thing, basically. And Kieran is like the biggest baby. He's like, "I can't sleep on that mattress in there. It's like too hard, or it's too soft, or it's too some I don't know. It's too, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't for his liking." And I was like, "Kieran, you better be fucking, you even have a mattress to sleep on. There are millions of people in the world who don't even fucking, you have to sleep on the fucking street, on concrete, on a fucking cardboard. You better be lucky you even have a mattress to sleep on, you fucking ungrateful son of a bitch." So then he goes outside and he grabs this sun lounger, brings it in, puts it on the bed in Thorn Cottage, because that's where he has to sleep now, in Thorn Cottage, and it doesn't even look comfortable. And I'm like, if you roll off the side of this sun lounger mattress thing, you're gonna fall straight on the ground, because it's like steps. It's so dumb. He's just being over fucking dramatic. So then they ring the buzzer. It's the first buzzer of the task. They ring the buzzer. Raph fucking darts out there like goddamn Usain Bolt or whatever his name is, and hits the fucking buzzer. We already know Raph can run fast, because if you remember on Fright Night, when Deborah was running up the stairs to knock out Ellie, Raph somehow got to the top of the stairs before the security guard and before Deborah. So we already knew that Raph could run fast. So Raph he hits the buzzer first, and he wins £100 for the black team. Then Kieran gets called into the diary room, and Kieran, always fucking trying to outsmart somebody. He was trying to outsmart Raph the other day with the rum and coke, when he hid the rum and cokes. Now he's fucking trying to outsmart Big Brother. You're trying to outsmart Big Brother? So whatever. Big Brother is like, Kieran, what's wrong? Like, why are you acting all annoying and shit? And he's like, let's play a guessing game. You tell me what's wrong. I'll give you one chance to play this guessing game. And Big Brother's like, Big Brother doesn't play fucking guessing games. What the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, well, you can give him out. It's only fair that you play my game. And Big Brother's like, listen, we need you to return the Sun Lounger back to outside. He's like, no, I'm using it to sleep on. And Big Brother's like, housemates are not permitted to sleep on the Sun Loungers inside. He's like, can I sleep outside? Big Brother is like, housemates are not permitted to sleep outside. He's like, can I sleep in the lounge in the living area? Housemates are not permitted to sleep in the living area. He's like, okay, well then I'm sleeping in Rose Cottage then. And Big Brother's like, if you do not sleep with your roommates, or if you do not sleep with your teammates, you will risk losing money from your prize pot. He's like, the prize pot is zero. Oh, it's irrelevant, isn't it? The Big Brother's like, the prize pot may not be zero by the end of the day. And so Kieran loses the fucking argument. Trying to always fucking outsmart someone. So he loses the argument, goes downstairs, chucks the Sun Lounger off of his bed, all angrily and aggressive. Very aggressive. Very aggressively. Let's see if he gets called aggressive. I fucking doubt it. So he aggressively takes the Sun Lounger out from his bed, and is acting like a big ass baby. So then we get to the vomit task, the throw up task of the day, and it's the return of the century eggs. Every season they gotta have the century eggs, so they made their debut this time. So somehow it came down to Hannah representing the gold team and Tom representing the black team. They were the ones chosen to eat. They have to eat 10 century eggs, and whoever does it first wins how much? Wins 2,000 pounds for their team. I don't know how they chose Hannah and Tom, but Hannah and Tom are the two. So they start eating them, and they're gagging, having a rough time because, you know, they're fermented, old, nasty, rotten, boiled eggs. So they're eating them, gagging and stuff. They're doing okay. They're doing okay, you know, gagging and the choking and shit. Tom throws up first. Like, it was a little bit of throw up. It wasn't crazy. It was like a little bit of throw up. Then Hannah, she's eating the eggs, gagging. Then all of a sudden, she fucking just projectile vomits out. Oh god, it was so disgusting. It looked like thick, hot, smelly, like yellow fucking puke just going all over the place, drooling down her face. I mean, she's just throwing up and throwing up and throwing up. It's never ending. It's nonstop. The girl is just a throw up machine at this point. Meanwhile, Tom he's having a hard time. He's gagging, but he's getting it down there somehow. I think he's drinking water with it. He has a technique down, I guess. Everybody is grossed out. Everyone's like, they're trying to cheer Hannah on, but it's just so fucking gross because her face is like covered in throw up, and she just keeps throwing up. Eventually, she quits. It's so gross. It's so gross. I haven't seen that much throw up on TV in a long. I can't remember the last time I saw that much throw up on TV. She eventually quits. She can't have it. She can't take anymore. And I was like, Hannah, at this point, you might as well keep going because you already threw up. You might as well keep going. You know what I mean? Tom wins. He eats all the eggs. He gets it all down. Team Black wins 2,000 pounds. Yeah. So then they're back out in the living room. The buzzer goes off. Kieran gets there first, and he hits it. He wins his team 160 pounds. I think he's on the gold team. So the gold team just got 160 pounds. The next part of the task is Raph versus Andrew. How can I explain this? They have to go back in the room. Raph and Andrew stand behind a button thing, a podium and a button. They're getting a lot of use out of these podium and button tasks. They're getting a lot of use out of these. So they go back in the room. Raph and Andrew, Big Brother is gonna start saying dollar amounts or pound amounts, I guess. And you have to hit the buzzer on a certain pound amount. It doesn't matter which pound amount, but you have to hit the buzzer when Big Brother says an amount of money before they hit the horns again, because if they hit the horns and you don't hit the button on any of the money, then you just don't get the money. That money gets lost and it can never be re-won again. So like it gets taken out of the 20,000 that's been stolen, and it can never be put back. So you want to hit the money, but you don't want to hit too low and you don't want to hit too high. So Big Brother, they start saying dollar amounts, and they keep going up and up and up and up and up and up. Eventually they get to £2,500. They still don't hit the buzzer. The alarm goes off, and then they hit the buzzer, but it's too late by then. Nobody got the money, so everyone lost $2,500. It will never be able to be won back. It's gone forever from the prize fund. So they're back in the living room. The buzzer in the living room goes off again. They can't decide if Ellie hits it first or if Hannah hits it first, but it's for £400. Then about 5 minutes later, Big Brother comes on the speaker and is like, "Congratulations, Ellie. You hit the buzzer, not Hannah. You hit the buzzer. You won your team £400. So £400 goes to the gold team, I think. Hold on, let me check. Ellie is on the team that is the gold one. Yes, that is correct. Ellie wins £400 for the gold team. Then like 5 seconds later, it goes off again. Ellie hits it again, I think, and she wins her team 750 more pounds. So at this point, the gold team has 1,310 pounds, and the black team has 2,100 pounds. Isabel gets called into the diary room, and it's an opportunity for her to get a phone call from her sister. She already did not get the chance to see her sister with the temptation task and the light bulb thing task. So they're giving her another chance now. However, this phone call will cost her 150 pounds from her team's total prize fund winnings. She accepts it, and she gets to talk to her sister on the phone in the diary room. It's a nice moment. It's cute. It was nice for her to finally get some like family interaction. It was nice. It was real. It was like real sisters talking on the phone that haven't spoken to each other in a long time. It was real. And her sister told her that Paris Hilton follows her on Twitter, and I was like, what? Paris Hilton watches Big Brother? That's okay. That's crazy. I had no idea. So Big Brother, Paris Hilton is a fan of Big Brother. Then there's this scene where Hannah is in Thorn Cottage and she's crying, basically talking about how she kind of wants a phone call from her family too, or a like something from their mom, like a letter or a phone call or something. But I think didn't Hannah get a oh, that was her sister Mary. Her sister came in and talked to her during the temptation task. So I mean, at least she got that. At least she got her sister. But you know, she's still crying. She wants to hear from her mom, basically. So Deborah is consoling her, telling her, you know, Mom would be proud of you and all this stuff. Then Chanel gets called into the diary room. She has an opportunity to see her boyfriend. Her boyfriend has come in the house. He's in the boudoir. The boudoir, darling. He's in the boudoir next door. She can go and hang out with him for the night. But it will cost her team £400, which is kind of a lot, but I mean, kind of not a lot. So she accepts it. She's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go. So she goes in there. Her boyfriend is like so fucking adorable. Her boyfriend is so cute. Totally not the type of guy I thought Chanel was gonna be with. When I saw her boyfriend, I was like, what? I thought she was gonna be with the type. Remember how the trainer came in and she was working out with the trainer for that one task? I thought he was gonna look something like that. But her boyfriend is like you know what I mean? He's dorky. He's kind of got like a belly. He's a little stocky, but he's cute though. He's so cute, and he's adorable, and he's nice, and he's goofy, and it's like, it's a total match for Chanel. You know what I mean? They're like perfect together. So he's in there, and she's like freaking out. And she's like, sorry, I just ate some salt and vinegar chips, and I didn't shave my vagina. So, and you know, he starts telling her about how it's looking from the outside, and how Charlotte and Andrew are not your friends. They're talking shit about you behind your back. Watch out for them. She's like, okay. So she takes that on board. And then they're back in the living room. The buzzer goes off in the living room. Again, Raph hits it this time. It's for £250. So £250 gets added into the black team's fund. Then Charlotte and Ellie are outside in the smoking section. And they're talking about how Paris Hilton follows Isabel on Twitter. And they're like, that's crazy. Isabel is like way prettier than Paris Hilton. And I thought that was crazy because a couple of weeks ago, everyone, all they wanted to fucking talk about with Isabel was how orange she was and how tan she was. Now all of a sudden they went, oh, she's so pretty and she's even prettier than Paris Hilton. It's just funny how like your perception of someone can change over time. You know what I mean? Then there's a scene where Ellie gets jealous of Isabel and she gets mad at Sam because Sam is fucking having a conversation with Isabel. Ellie gets jealous. The thing, I'm not going to get into it, but the thing with Ellie and Sam is every day they are together in that house, it's the same thing. They break up every day, and then by nighttime, when there's alcohol, they get back together and they want to make out and like be together again. Then in the morning or sometime during the day, they're like, oh, we shouldn't do this. Let's not be together. Nighttime, alcohol, let's be together. It's the same thing every fucking day. It's the same cycle. It's like Groundhog's Day. Then Raph is sad because Chanel is hanging out with her boyfriend, so he's chugging a big ass bottle of wine. He gets pretty drunk. Deborah's trying to get him to bed. Deborah's trying to get him to bed, but he runs inside all drunkenly and like hits the wall almost. He runs upstairs and he just like lays at the top of the stairs outside of the diary room. I guess he's waiting for Chanel to come back. I don't know. I don't know if he slept there all night. I don't know. So the last thing we see is Chanel making love to her boyfriend in the boudoir. They're making love. They're grown adults. They're in a relationship. They haven't seen each other. They haven't seen each other for 5 weeks. Of course they're gonna have sex. Everyone on Box was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe." Yeah, that's why you put them in there, because you knew they were gonna fucking have sex. Like, they're adults. They're grown. They're in a relationship. It's been 5 weeks, 6 weeks, or 6. I don't even 7 weeks. I don't fucking know how long. Of course they're gonna have sex. Like, come on. Monday, I think, day 43. First thing in the morning, they play the buzzer. Sam rushes into the living room. He gets there first. He hits the buzzer first. He wins 750 pounds for the gold team. Chanel and her boyfriend, I wrote down, Chanel and her boyfriend are so darn cute. They're just so darn cute. They're just like being cute. And Chanel's like, who's the prettiest in the house? And he's like, you are. She's like, ee! Who's the funniest? He's like, you are. She's like, ee! She's like, who's the smartest? He's like, Raph. She's like, he's wiggling around his fat tummy, his fat stomach. It was just like, I don't know. It was cute. They're so cute. So she comes out of the boudoir. She leaves the boudoir and she reunites with everybody. And Raph's like happy that she's back. And she goes and she tells Raph and them what her boyfriend, I think his name was Josh. She tells Raph and Hannah and them and Isabel what Josh was saying about Andrew and Charlotte, about how they were talking shit about them. So then we get to the asshole waxing part of the task. So basically the boys of the black team, Tom and Raph, are going against the boys of the gold team, who are Kieran, Sam, and Andrew. And basically whoever hits the buzzer first, they win 3,000 pounds if they have to complete a waxing session, but it's like their lower half, so like their like dick and balls and their legs and stuff and their asshole are going to be waxed. So it's Raph and Tom against Andrew, Kieran, and Sam. That's not really fair because they have 6 hands to hit the buzzer first versus 4 hands, but you know what, it's fine. We're not going to get into it. So basically Andrew hits the buzzer first. He is the one who has to get waxed. He gets to 3,000 pounds for the gold team. So he goes down into the task room and he gets waxed and waxed and waxed and waxed and waxed some more. I mean, asshole waxed. His gooch is getting waxed. His legs are getting waxed. Everything below his like belly button basically is getting waxed. I thought it was a little too far. I thought it was a little too much. Like, that is probably, I mean, there's like a line, like a physical torture pain line. Like, what's next? They're going to make him like chop off his fucking arm to win off some money or something? Like, where's the line? You know what I'm saying? I guess blood is the line. He wins the money for his team. So it was interesting though, because Tom hit the buzzer for the black team. And I think it would have been way funnier to see Tom getting waxed. I think it would have been funnier to see Tom getting his asshole waxed than it would have been, seeing Andrew getting his asshole waxed. So, I mean, I don't think Tom would have done it. I think Tom would have quit before it got to that stage. Then Raph gets called into the diary room, and he has an opportunity to speak to a past Big Brother winner, Josie Gibson from 2010. I didn't watch her season. I'm sorry, I'm not a fucking super fan, whatever. So he gets the opportunity to talk to her, winner to potential winner. He takes it. It's only 150 pounds, so he takes it, and she gives him some advice. I don't know if it was the best advice. Basically, she's like, "You need to do more pranks and own up to your pranks. That's going to help Raph win. Doing pranks. That's going to help Raph win." I don't know. So yeah, she tells him to do more pranks and to own his pranks, and then she basically tells him what Chanel's boyfriend was saying about Andrew and Charlotte, to watch out for them. They're not your friends. They're talking shit about you guys behind their backs. Like, be wary of them. Be wary of them. So, he comes out and he tells Chanel, hey, she just told me the same thing your boyfriend told me. Watch out for Andrew and watch out for Charlotte. So then, they're out in the living room again. Buzzer goes off. Charlotte hits it and she wins 1,090 pounds for her team. Forgot what team she's on. Then Sam and Ellie get called into the diary room, and they have an opportunity basically to do what Chanel just did the day before, which is to spend the day in the boudoir. It costs the same amount, which is 400 pounds. I was like, oh, they're not going to take that. This is so dumb. Like, they're not going to spend 400 pounds on that. Like, this is so dumb. Of course they're not going to do it. They fucking do it. They do it. They take the 400 pounds. I was like, you guys are not together. You guys sleep together almost every night anyway. I don't know why they did it, and I knew they were going to hook up. It was so stupid. They took the money. They shouldn't have taken the money. If I was one of the housemates and on their team, I would have been fucking pissed. If I was on the gold team, I would have been like, why'd you guys just waste 400 fucking pounds? You guys sleep together every night anyway. The fuck? Then we get to the next part of the task. The gold team and the black team each have an opportunity to win $5,500 to their total. All they have to do is cut one member of the other team out. And the person that they choose to cut out from the other team will not be eligible to win any more of the money, and they cannot participate in any more of the tasks. So the gold team, they get called first. And they decide to cut out Raph because he's the best player from the black team. The black team get called into the task room. They get asked the same question, the same amount of money, and they decide to take out Kieran from the gold team. So Kieran and Raph are both out. They can no longer play the game. They can no longer win money for their respective teams. So at the total now for both teams is the black team is at 8,300 pounds, and the gold team is at 10,510 pounds. The gold team is winning. And then we saw later on bots that this means that the gold team, since they won, one of them from the gold team is going to be able to win all of the money from the black team and the gold team, and then they're going to have to evict someone, but they're not going to be actually leaving the house until Friday. So that person who they evict is going to be sitting in the house just chilling, waiting around until Friday to walk out the doors, which is weird because I'm like, they're just gonna quit. Like, I would just quit if I got evicted on Tuesday. I would just quit on Tuesday. I wouldn't wait around until Friday. Like, why would I do that? After that, Hannah and Charlotte decided to play a prank on Raph, but it was dumb. It was a failed task. He knew the whole time.
I can't find my jacket.
I knew it was a joke.
Wow.
I didn't even jump.
Then Ellie and Sam go into the boudoir. They have a conversation. They basically gave each other a high five, turned around, and went to bed. I was like, y'all just wasted 400 pounds on what? To have a conversation? It was the biggest waste of 400 pounds. So, I mean, that's it. Tonight we're going to see who... we already know. We know Andrew is the one from the gold team to hit the button. So he won the 10,000 plus the 8,000. So he won like 18,000 pounds. 18,810 pounds. If you combine them, it's 18,810 pounds. If that math is correct, I might be a little bit off. My bad, but he wins around 18,000 pounds from hitting the buzzer. So tonight we're going to see who he chooses to evict. I mean, I'm predicting it's going to be either Hannah because he has an issue with Hannah. Or if he's smart, he'll evict Sam, because if he evicts Sam, he also gets 15,000 from being the second chance housemate, being the last standing second chance housemate. You get 15,000 from that. So if he's smart, he'll walk away with about 30,000 fucking pounds, which is a big chunk of change from the prize fund, considering he's probably not going to win the whole thing anyway. So yeah, we're going to see how that goes down tonight. By the time this video is posted, you watching will have already known who it was, because it takes 500 years to upload these videos. Not to edit, but to upload. So yeah, if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video where I talk about the next eviction, and then, you know, leading up into the final. We're going to see how that all goes. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.